Alrighty guys, welcome back to Critical Spec Gaming. This is your host John. Unfortunately, co-host Ryan couldn't make it today, so I'm going to be carrying us through this video. I kind of just wanted to take a look at some footage I got on playing Mercy about a couple weeks ago. Kind of critique it and point out some positives and negatives, so I guess let's jump right into this. I'll have some annotations here and there and some, fun little whatevers, but main story that we're kind of trying to talk about here is what did I do wrong and what did I do right? I spend a lot of time healing when I could be damage boosting. I think this is something a lot of Mercies need to work on. If your tanks, your DPS, your other support is already at full health, you probably should be damage boosting. If not, pull out your pistol. Now that's definitely not to say that if you know your tank is poking out into a dangerous situation like a bunch of symmetra turrets, or that there's an enemy on the other side, or your DPS is poking out, that you shouldn't be healing them to preemptive heal. In that case scenario, yes, of course you're going to want to be healing to keep the constant heals on where you're taking the damage. So there's that. But you'll catch me a lot of times when I could be damage boosting or doing something else, trying to heal somebody that's already at full health, and that is not productive. That's not something that someone who's a Mercy main or trying to climb the ranks or the ladder as Mercy should be doing. So as you see here, we took the point nice and easy. First push, that's fine, whatever. This is where things start to go south a little bit. As Mercy, you want to stay with your team. You want to stay behind your team. You want to be the backlines. I feel like this is common sense. I feel like this is obvious. I shouldn't have to say that. But I feel like there are times where, myself included, Mercy mains and supporters tend to be too close to the front lines. We tend to be too up. We try to get risky, and it's not worth it. Your job is to stay alive. If you're down at a 4v6 and you're being stubborn, you're not doing your team any favors, you're going to start trickling in, and you want to avoid that. That's one of your jobs, to avoid the trickle. Now you'll see here that I'm basically caught in this clusterfuck over here. And I mean, it worked out well because Zen had his ult and whatever, but I could have easily been pinned, I could have gotten hammered, any number of things could have happened, and I could have died. And not paying attention and getting that tunnel vision is what would have caused me to lose. And I didn't even realize that my co-host Ryan disappeared. I was so busy doing something else. I'm like, where'd he go? So it's stuff like that where you need to be more aware. I feel like Mercy's pretty self-explanatory. One of the biggest things of her kit is her res, and that's one big focus I want to talk about is Mercy's res. If you're somebody who's always waiting for that big res, you are not doing yourself or your team any favors whatsoever. You need to be looking for opportunities to turn the tide of the fight in your favor, the key opportune moments. So let's say enemy phara just ulted and enemy Zarya just ulted to kind of do a wipe. They only got 2 or 3 of your people. Do the res. Don't wait for other people to go down. Do the res. They already used some of their ults, and even if they're pocketing some whatever's fine, but your job is to keep yourself at an advantage. At that point you're at a disadvantage, and if you're making a push or holding a point and you're down 2 people and you're versing a full 6 stack or a 6-man team, you're going to lose that fight. I mean, obviously we're not including skill in this conversation, we're just including bare bone basic idea, but you need to be willing to drop your res at a given point in time. If you're doing your job at damage boosting and healing and everything else, you're going to get your ult back quick. So don't worry too much about dropping your ult for a 2-man res. It's totally worth it. Now, I'm not saying just go ahead and res every single time somebody dies. That's not the case. I mean, if you guys are at a fight and they have 1 person, 2 people still alive, and they kill 2 of your people, so now it's a 4v1, don't res your teammates, especially if you're closer to whatever the objective is. You're wasting your res. So I mean, obviously try to use your brain with it, have some sort of game sense, try to figure out if it's worth it or not. I do want to talk a little bit about Mercy's damage boost. It gives you a not you, but whoever you're boosting, 30% extra damage. To put that in perspective, Soldier used to do 20 damage per bullet. Okay, So that's an extra 6 damage per bullet. That adds up. And I mean, if you think about that, you can actually delete the enemy team much quicker. I mean, that's almost an extra half of damage, and that's pretty much game changing. So if you're just focusing on healing or using your own pistol the entire time, you're not really doing much. Unfortunately, I didn't get too much gameplay footage with me versing off against tracers, because I feel like a lot of Mercies have issues with tracers, even Genji's a little bit. Obviously Winston's an issue, but if you're with your team and you can communicate that, you know, you're in trouble, there really shouldn't be that much of an issue. Do me a favor, comment below and share this video, and if you think, if you're a Mercy solo queuing and you say group up here and you're with your team, that your team should realize you're being attacked. I mean, they can see that you're healing them, what your health bar is at, so I guess to really summarize most of what I'm trying to say in this video, be mindful of what's going on. Be mindful that you're healing a team that's already at full health. Maybe you should give them a damage boost. Maybe you should pull out your pistol and defend yourself for once. And when you're rezzing, don't just wait for that big res all the time, but also don't get yourself killed trying to do the big res. You know, make sure you're rezzing, you know, to put yourself in a better position in the team fight. If you're just rezzing to res, you're not being a team player like you're supposed to as Mercy. So I guess that's really it for me. I don't really have too much to say on this topic, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed some of the gameplay you got to see. Hope you learned a little bit of anything. If you need like any tips or whatever as Mercy, any other character, whatever you want a video type, another montage, whatever, just request it down below. As always, it's been great having you guys around. My name's John, my co-host is Ryan, and hopefully we'll be seeing you guys next time. Enjoy the remainder of your day. See ya!